Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Let's Stay Gamers, and welcome. So today we're playing a little bit of War Thunder, and we're rocking 2 or 3 of my favourite tanks of World War II. It's of course the T34-85 in a number of different variations. Now the variation you're actually seeing here is the E model, and you can see it's got some sort of mesh fences that are wrapped around the turret and the lower body. Now originally this was something when the Russians went into Berlin to deal with the threat of rocket-propelled grenades or Panzerfaust, and the idea would be the mesh would break up the projectile before it actually penetrated the armour with its penetrative tip. So it worked very effectively, and there was lots of Russians running around stealing beds and sort of chicken cages to mount on the side of the T-34s. But I'm going to show you a little bit of footage of this tank today and a few of the others, and show you some of the little hot spots I got myself into. So after taking out a Tiger and a T34-85, I've came up on the flank of an IS-2 that was hull down, taking our teammates out left, right and centre that were advancing on the A point. So I've quickly eliminated that with a well-placed shot, and I've pushed further around the back to see if we can get any more rear shots and do exactly what this tank is supposed to be. It's a background sort of brawler as well as that rear shot. Now one of the advantages of this tank that I noticed was the quietness of its tracks. It didn't have the distinctive metallic sound that a lot of other tanks did, like the tank that tried to creep up behind me then, so it allowed you to hear them over your tank's engine. Now we've came up over quite a dangerous situation here. We've got 2 Panthers, and if one of them was to swing their turret around, I'd be dead meat quite straight away. So what I'm going to do is place some well-placed shots into the turrets to try to eliminate the crew in there as well as the turret ring, so they'd have to turn the whole tank to try to get the best armour on me. Now sadly I was killed by a plane in the last clip, but we're going to move on. Now I'm coming in from another little bit of a flanking route on some Tiger 2s. Now Tiger 2s are a scary tank to try to face, especially with front armour. You may have noticed I'll put the first shot into the turret, and now the second shot's gone into the engine. So it's pretty much a heavy mess now. It can't move, can't shoot, and I can just play with it all day. And I've decided to put a shot through the ammo rack, eliminating the tank out of the game. And it wasn't just one-offs with these Tiger 2s. I found little kinks in their armour, even at long range, that I found placing shots in would allow me for some quite interesting results. So as you can see, I shell trap the round in the turret ring. It allows it to destroy the tank. Really, really cool. So as we're moving on, one of the most things I feared was coming up against other T34-85 drivers. The main reason was they knew your game. They knew how to handle it, so it became a battle of 50-50. Both of you knew how to play that tank quite well, so you really had to bait the other player into a situation where you had the advantage. So he's waiting for me to come around the corner of this building on the right, so I'm going to reverse up and come on that left and hopefully get a little bit of the advantage, and I've done it. Managed to pull it off and get that shot through a turret as he was taking that time to turn from left to right, traversing the turret. Now moving into another Berlin scenario here, we're rolling the T34-85 down the main road at rapid speed. We're trying to get in there as deep as possible and actually just eliminate many tanks from behind. Now, this sounds really strange actually saying that, but you can see as we got hit by our artillery strike, our track's been blown off, and I'm going to have to repair the thing. So after a quick bit of repairing, we're pushing deeper into the enemy lines. God, this sounds so strange now I'm thinking about this. I need to use more tactical terms and less sort of words that sound like that. So as this T-34 rolls around the corner, managed to put a shot through the hatch, taking out a play. Now I've got a little bit of a problem. You can see that the A flag is being capped behind me. I'm going to have to spin this tank around and get over there to do it in. Another tank comes out of nowhere, take him out of play. Now I've got only a matter of time, so the best thing to do here would probably to try to snap shoot through the buildings and just damage that tank or eliminate it through the crack. And you can see it's actually a KV-2, one of my worst nightmare scenarios here. If that thing spins around, could have an easy shot. Luckily it's looking the other way and the turret ring is dead. And then out of the blue comes another Panzer, and I've got just enough time to crack a shot off at its lower transmission area, leaving it locked in that position. Now he's going to expect me to come out back around that main road, but I'm going to come around the side, and you can see actually how unready and unprepared he is as he tries to swing that turret around at the last moment. Very cool, very smooth. I quite enjoyed that little play there. Now here's another flanking procedure with the T34-85. We've got an AI player up here, so we're just going to quickly take him out. And the scariest thing with this tank was running around the corner, bumping into KV-2s and the 152, and just being eliminated straight away, because this is a sort of play hard sort of tank. You want to rush it, you want to move around, get as much sort of agility and the speed that you've got the advantages as to play to your favour. But the KV2s and the 152s you can see here, this was a little bit of a revenge club. I felt really good actually getting this. Put a shot into the rear of that one, paralysed his crew, and then the second shot is going to go in that 152, unless I can eliminate that KV2 a little bit faster. So they've not even realised I'm here yet, so I can just have a bit of a play, take out that turret ring, and the KV2 is going to try spinning the tank around, but it's going to take him an hour or so to get that thing around. One goes into the 152. Both of these weapons on these tanks are absolutely crazy. It's going to be a one-shot kill if he manages to turn that thing around. We've got an M18 there. I'm going to put a shot into his barrel, just so they can't shoot. Now, they pretty much paralysed this team on the point, but I'm going to need to get a shot off quite quick to take out this KV. Luckily, it goes down the side, takes the gunner out. 152 spots me, starts to turn, and I'm going to place one into the side, hopefully into his ammo rack, and actually destroy him. And there we go, he's destroyed. We're going to push onto the flag and capture this one for our team. So returning to the natural habitat of the T34-85E, the streets of Berlin, you can see we've got my bed racks and netting all over this thing, and we're lining up a nice line of sight down one of the streets. A Stug manages to sneak around the corner. You can see the cap in the A flag, and my team are advancing very slowly at this point, so I need to buy myself some time. I need to get a little bit of time here, stop them from getting into them positions that are going to trap us and lock us into spawn. As there's another T-34 crossing, I fire a shot into its turret ring, paralysing his turret, buying me a little bit more time to advance up and hopefully get another shot onto him. But I run into a little bit of a problem. There's far too many tanks for me to actually play against here, and my turret has been disabled. I need to pull back into some cover and just hold on until this thing's fixed. T-34-85's popping out again, but he's not realised his turret's destroyed, and it's going to be quite funny to see what he tries to do. We've also got an M36 popping around the corner here. Now these are the new sort of American tank destroyers. Quite a scary match to actually go up against, as long as the person knows what they're doing with it. Otherwise they tend to penetrate or over penetrate your tank and go through it. You see we've eliminated the gunner of that tank, so it's going to be a little bit of a problem. Now with that tank's turret still seized up, it's going to make for quite an easy kill, as he's trying to align the whole tank to actually get the shot on me. So I'll place that through there, eliminating his crew. The M36 is back for a bit more. I'm just turning the turret to try to deter him away from that reload. He knows his armor's paper thin, and I can put a shot straight through that. So I'm going to use the little bit of advantage that I've got as he hides and shoot on his much wider turret with my cannon there. So we're penetrating into the side, damaging the breach and damaging his crew once again. This should give me enough time to actually put some more shots into that Sherman that just placed one across the front of my hull. So this time we're creeping around and we're going to try going for the turret ring, and we got a critical hit on the turret ring and the driver, so that's going to paralyse that tank up and give me enough time. And as you can see, just on the bell of the whistle, the rest of my teammates have managed to push up, and the enemy team have not fallen into them positions that would have been irremovable. So the Jackson, all the M36 is popping back out the side, and we're going to finish it off with a nice shot, I hope. There we go, through the side into the gun bridge and eliminating that tank. So we've got the M4 around the corner, but I believe our little friend here in the Sherman decides to eliminate that for us. We're going to edge forward, try to get another shot onto it. We didn't successfully get a penetration. You can see as I'm aiming for the barrel area there, if you aim for the lower glacis of the actual turret sort of mantle, you can actually deflect shots down into the hull if it does bounce off. So that is always sort of a benefit to aiming into that area. So I'm hogging the terrain, and I'm going to try to creep up and get a little bit of a better position to overwatch people coming out of these roads. So we've got a few tanks lurking behind the rubble here, and we've also got a Panzer here. I've got this narrow gap through the window, but I'm not going to be able to get a good shot on it. Shooting it there will just paralyse the engine. So I've got to wait for it to reverse back and put one right into the side of its ammo rack. So now with my team pushed up behind us and the actual flag capped, we should be able to push up a little bit further. So I'm going to use the cover of the rubble of this buildings, which it just looks so beautiful, this tank in this sort of environment. I mean, if you ever saw any of the pictures near the end of the war with the T-34s, with the netting and the mesh on it, it was just in such an environment like this. So we're going to creep around, continue pushing up, and we spot another little gem there to put a shot into the side of. And there we go, right into the ammo rack, blowing that thing sky high. Now, as we move on to this clip, it's a little bit later on. I've pushed further up, and a nightmare scenario just drifted past. It's almost like a ghost from a ghost movie when a KV rolls past a sort of opening in this town, because it's like a 50-50. You could roll around that corner and it could be there. So I decided to try and pursue it, because I'd rather take it out on my own terms but I bumped into this little Sherman here, and then this duel ensues. So with his gun actually disabled, he's going to have to spin the whole tank to get a shot on me, and I didn't think he would do it at first, and I didn't think of it all the time, and there he does, he spins it, and now my turret's jammed up. We managed to both jam each other's turrets up, and there's only one difference. His turret is jammed forward and my turret is jammed sideways. So if I get a bit close here and ram my turret into the side, he won't be able to get a shot on me. So I'm going to wait for my longer reload, thanks to him killing my actual loader, before I can place another shot into him. So my turret should be going straight down. He tries to advance forward, so I need to wiggle back a little bit. And now watch that KV-2 pop out of nowhere. And I think my little bit of chicken coop armor saved me there. So now it's the KV-2's turn. There's no time to repair this turret. We've just got to get around there and destroy it. The 30 seconds it might take me to actually destroy it would be the 30 seconds it took for that thing to reload. So I'm going to put another shot into the side of the turret and try to use this tank as cover from their actual spawn point. So we've got Panther here. I'm going to put another shot into his turret ring, and that's going to slow his turn rate down a little bit more, give me a bit more of a chance to actually get into the side, get a few more shots to penetrate into his hull. You see there's a whirlwind popping out the side there, just looking for an opportunity to try to get my fuel lines on my back, sort of fuel tanks there, so I'm going to hide behind this KV-2 as much as possible while I reload. So his turret starts to turn again at a slow rate, but luckily I get the shot off and I get that much deserved revenge for all them people that hate them KVs out there. This was what was happening to me pretty much all day as I played this tank, or played the T34 series. I'd be coming against Panthers and other tanks. I'd be running into little scenarios like this where I'd take out one Panther or Panzer that came up against me, and I would have to quickly reposition like 5 or 6 objects to block line of sight from the other. So I'm blocking both the Panther and a tank on my right with line of sight, so with a boulder and a house. And I'm really delicately positioned here, and then an IS-1 comes out of nowhere. I've got to put a quick snapshot into its turret, and there we go, this IS is out, but there's tanks coming out of almost everywhere, and this is going to upset you quite much. I get eliminated by KV-2,